Today's webinar is about our website quota and our new dashboard. So we're going to be showcasing some of the new features we've come out with, our new designs, kind of our official launch. For those of you who are not familiar with this product, this is a consumer-facing quote engine. It's a lead generation tool. It's designed to plug into like a website. Any website, you can do your website services with us, or you can actually have your website designed with anybody and use our quote engine on that website. So it's a really versatile tool I'm going to be showcasing today. We've really, this like I was saying earlier, this was one of our initial products that IXN first came out with. The only product that we had before this service was our CRM, which many of you know we no longer do. So our website quoter, I'm really excited to launch this. This is probably one of our most widely used products as well. The idea behind the website quoter, if you're not familiar with it, is it plugs into your website, it does lead generation, it does life insurance quoting, term and GUL products. So yeah, we're gonna hop in here. One quick thing is if you hover over the bottom right of your screen, there should be a little like a full screen option. Sometimes that helps to see the screen a little better, to get in a little closer on it. My name is Lasse Young. I am the Chief Revenue Officer here at IXN, so I handle all of marketing and sales. I don't handle it all myself, thank goodness. I have a team of people who help me, and they're awesome. Yeah, I'm the Chief Revenue Officer. I'm also one of the initial founders here at IXN. And when we founded IXN, I had hair. So we have been around long enough for me to lose all my hair. I'm not sure if it's because of the company or just life, but you know. All right, so let's see here. Let's hop right in. All right, so some of the new features I'm going to be showcasing today are our new design and user interface. It's now better than ever on mobile. I'm going to show, we now show multiple payment modes in the quote results. We have done form builder integrations. I'll show you what that means. We have got help content built into the quote engine. We have new lead designs. We have our new dashboard. Looks like I got help content in the list there twice. White label options, and then lead integrated mobile apps. So those last two, I'm going to show you guys how, if you're a brokerage, a BGA IMO, and you're providing this for your agent, like you're buying it for your agents, or you're just referring it and letting them buy it themselves, or something like that, but you want it through your system, we have a white label solution for that, and they can actually now get their leads right through your mobile app. So I'll be showing you a little bit about that. Pretty cool stuff. Let's hop right in. So we have a new design and UI. So here's our new design. So these two screens, this is kind of the initial quote screen, and this is the quote results screen. So let me show you here. Let's pop in actual quote engine. So here we've got our quote engine. This is, it gets embedded right onto a website, and it can be different sizes. It can be skinnier. It can be wider. It's based on the size of the website, and it's really nicely responsive to the site. So you can see, this in contrast to our old quote engine. Actually, let me see if I can find a website that's still got our old one on it. If you are a client of ours and you are on the old site, you need to get on the new one. We are going to be turning off, deactivating all of our old quote engines. So you need to get up there. Make sure you talk to your support staff here at IXN, and they'll get you upgraded. You can just call our 1-800 number. So here's our old one. This is kind of the old version. You can see the bigger version, the more full screen version. If I click on here, actually he even had a little bit of a column. So you can see here's our old one, and here is our new one. So it's really clean. It matches to websites really nicely. That's one of the things I like about it. it's collapsible, which is cool, which is really nice once you get to the quote results. Our old one was collapsible as well, but in the quote results only. So it's really come a long way. So let's run a quote on it. So we're going to go in here. Let's say we're in the state of Florida, in June 1st, 1980. And we've got, tobacco, yes, no, male, female, health, face amount, and then we're going to put in some quote input here. All right, so I click View Quotes. And notice that it kind of takes over the screen, so it feels like while it's calculating here, it feels like it's an integrated part of the site. Our old one, it was just kind of like this iframe, and it kind of worked really. It worked well, but it didn't stretch as well, and it didn't utilize the UI of the whole website as much as this new one does. So here's our quote criteria, or quote results. I'm sorry. You can pop back. You can see this is collapsible up here. There's an expand button where I can recalculate my quote. So I can just fill out, hey, I actually want to see a 30-year term. Click View Quotes. It's going to recalculate here and show the quote results. So there we go. So you can kind of see these are a little cleaner than our old one. Our old one, if we ran a quote on this one, run a quote on this guy's website. I think I've got everything. So here's our old design of our quote results. It's really condensed, kind of feels like these logos are a little too close together. Our new one, you can see it separates them into cards. So it's got these nice little sections of our quote results. From there, we can click Choose, and it'll pop up this nice little modal, and I'll show you some options to that here in a little bit. But that's essentially the new design and UI. I think it's slick. Hopefully, you guys feel the same. You can customize it, which I'll show you later. You can customize the colors of this bar up top, this button here, and then some of the text in this. But it's really, really nice, really easy to use, really clean, I feel like. In my opinion, this is the best looking quote engine in our industry. So that's new design in UI. So let's pop back to our presentation here. So next item I wanted to show you is the mobile view. So it's even better on mobile now. So here is some screenshots of what it looks like. I took some. Come on. I've got this Apple mouse. It's really sensitive. So here's some screenshots I took from my mobile phone rather than bringing up my phone. But you can see here's the input screen. So you can see it just looks really, really nice. And then I click to get my quote and it calculates. It uses the whole screen again. And then here's my quote result. This obviously is just the first one here at the top. I can sort, I can order it. You can see it works really nice. It's a truly responsive quote. And then if I click Choose, here's my input screen. Looks really nice, really easy to click buttons. It just works really nice on mobile. Our old one worked well on mobile. It's resized for the screen, but it really didn't change the UI like this one does to really make it a good experience on mobile. So really, really nice. Really props to our engineering team. They really did a good job here, I think, on the mobile side of things. All right, multiple payment modes. You guys saw that. So here's a quote result, right? You probably noticed that now when I got before in our old engine, let's go back to this website. It just shows the one. You can recalculate, like I can go up to the top here. He actually doesn't even have it in there, but normally there would be different payment mode options here. I wonder if I go back to the initial screen if it was there. Yeah, we go, payment mode. So you had to just select one. You can only see one. Up here, in our new engine, by default, it shows all of them. In that's a request we've had on all of our products. That's something that we've kind of done across the board on a lot of our products, except for our mobile app. Our mobile app, it has a toggle between the different payment modes. It's a really quick toggle. But the multiple payment modes here is pretty awesome. Next one is our form builder integration. This is an interesting one that we did for several reasons. So what this is when you get to the quote results, you've got your choose option, right? This is the default box. This is the default input. Our old one, you could build your own form here, and some of them got really long and really complicated, but really you couldn't really do much with it. You could get a lead, and that was it. We had a lot of people who wanted several things. They wanted to build custom forms here, ones with like if-then statements. They wanted to build build their whatever lead forms they wanted. And you could build whatever questions in our old one, which was great. So what we did was we simplified this form, the default form, in the dashboard. You can go in, and I'll get to explaining what this dashboard is if you haven't seen it yet. Lead form fields. So these are your options. And we're probably going to be adding more to this, but these are your options on our form. So if you want to change this form out with your own form that integrates with your CRM, or that does, something that we don't do, like if-then statements, or does something really visual or something like that, you can actually change this choose button to be an integration instead. And you could do it per carrier. So you can have a different form per carrier. So we've had a lot of that's another thing that did for it is before we use our form, it's the same form for every carrier. And but now you can actually go up here. So within the dashboard, there's this quote actions button. And what you can do is you can create a new action. And so you can select which carrier this is for. If you select all of them, do it for all of them. But you can go in here and you can either do an external link that just links somewhere, or we've got these third-party form builders that you can integrate with. Pretty dang cool. So you can do this with Google Forms, Cognito Forms, and what's really cool is it fills that form for you. So we have a guide. It's right, a link to it. So it's an integration guide, we call it. So you can say, hey, I'm going to be using Google Forms because Google Forms is free, right? Here, it walks you through step by step how to use Google Forms, how to build it, what you need to put in there if you want it to auto-populate any of these items: first name, carrier health category, IXN health category, gender, GUID, calculation type, amount, age rate, table rate. Well, that's more for age life quarter, but basically anything that that we've collected within that input screen, you can have it fill that field in that form. Let me show you what it does. Is it puts out to that form. So let me show you. Let's see, where did I go? Oh, here we go. Let me show you one that's going to set up. So if I go here to this other website, Quoter, we're going to run it real quick. A few quotes. So I've got my quote results here. Shoot. That's back. Oh, is this even something the right one? Sorry about that. There we go. Oh, what happened there? All right. So I'm going to click View Quotes. It's going to take me to the quote results. And this is usually faster. Most people don't turn on every carrier, but it's pretty quick with this product. So here I've got my quote results, right? Everything looks the same. And then here to Transamerica, I click Apply, and what it's going to be doing is just popping me out to Cognito Forms. Fortunately, I don't have this one set to autofill, but I could normally set it to autofill, first name, last name, phone number, if you have that on the initial input screen, carrier name that they selected, face amount, gender, age, product name. This one got face amount in there twice. I think we just kind of threw this one together for this webinar. But essentially, you can have it autofill any of these, so it grabs it from the quote engine. So you can have a different form for every carrier now, which we couldn't do before. You can build your own form with any of those form builder tools. And if there's one in this list, or if there's one that you want to use that's not on this list, we just found popular ones. Some of these are free, some of them cost money. I think this is the free version of Cognito Forms that I'm using here. I think that's why it says build your own here. Not sure on that. But I think most of them are either really or free. I know Google Forms is free, for example. So really nice system. Actually, and for those of you who signed up for this webinar with the link in the email, Google Forms is what we used to do that input. So you can customize it quite a bit. Looks really nice. I like that one because it's free and it puts it right into like a Google spreadsheet. So if you use Google for your email, that's awesome. But you can use any of these, and they're all really easy to use. Cool. And and if you guys have questions, I'll be answering questions at the end. So just jot it down or chat it into the chat box. I'll show you guys where that is when we get there. All right. So moving on. Next item here, help content. So one of the things you see, so this modal here that you see, this was help content based on the health categories. So what we've done is we realized that when someone is inputting, there are several things like your health, term length, face amount that people aren't sure what that means. So we've got a little help content here. It's a modal that pops down. It basically describes what that specific thing is. So we've kind of got some generic content built into it. Right now, you can't customize this content. It's kind of the same for every carrier or for everybody. This is the one that's got the most content. We kind of describe preferred plus, preferred, standard plus standard. It's pretty basic content. Shouldn't need to change, but I'm not sure what plan is there if we're going to make it editable. The other thing that you can do on that help content is you can create your own. So if you have some other questions here, you can actually add, first name. Let's say you wanted to put next to email, you wanted to say something about, hey, we're not going to sell your info. Nobody's going to be, or if you want to have your phone number here, just so you know, this is only going to the agency or the website. This is not, we're not a lead generator. If you wanted to put in some of that content into a modal, you can do that. That's all done in the dashboard. I'll show you guys how to do all that in a second. So that's a new feature that we've added. Next item here is our new lead design. So this is a screenshot I took of a lead in my email. So if any of you have ever used the old quote engine and didn't love the way the emails came through, they were pretty basic, pretty boring. We've now made them look a little better, a little easier to read, to find what you're looking for, that kind of thing. So we redesigned those. I probably have, skipping ahead. All right. So I probably have in my inbox a ton of them because I've been running quotes all morning. So look here. So here's my inbox. Those are campaign. So if I go here for John Smith, I can see, okay, here's my lead that came in. So really nicely. It says the agency name down here for the dashboard, what's on the dashboard. You can see it's not really branded with anything IXN. It does come from IXN, but it's a really, really clean design, new design. All right, so those are the new features kind of on the front end of the what's it called? The website quoter. The back end of facelift as well. For those of you who have not been in the last couple webinars, we have something called our dashboard. I've been talking about this a lot. I'm really excited about this. This is your new backend. So if you ever went to ixn.tech and logged into our website to manage your product with us, that's going away. It's still there right now. We're working on a new website that will just link to the new dashboard, and this is where you'll manage all your products. You'll manage everything you do with IXN through the dashboard moving forward. So really nice. So you just go to dashboard.ixn.tech. If you're using our old website quoter and you need to update, again, make sure you call into our support, talk to someone there. They'll get you updated to the new version. So let's pop into the dashboard. So a couple of really cool features in the dashboard that I want to show you. So when you first log in, it looks like this. Now, this has like a bunch of different products with us. So you're not usually going to see this many cards in here unless you've got, I think one of our clients has like 80 website quoters. So he's going to have a ton of cards. So we're working on some different views, some more list views and more condensed views and things like that. But by default, this is what it looks like. Each section here we call a card. These are all called cards. So I can go in here and I can go into a card, like here's my website quoter card. Here's my website quoter with the forms integration or the Cognito forms integration I showed you. But within this tool, this is where I go to edit everything. So for most of you, it's probably going to look more like, come on. So it wouldn't let me bring in a different browser. All right, for you, it's probably going to look more like this. So you'll have a few cards versus all those cards in here. And I'll show you what the difference there is. So I can go in here, and as an admin, if you're the owner of this product and this dashboard, you can go into your settings here. Within your settings, you can set up your personal information, whether you want to receive IXN newsletters, all that kind of stuff, set your password. You can go into agency, where you can upload your own logo. So this area can actually be white labeled. You can put in some general information, and this is if you have an applicant integration. That's more for like PGAs and for ALQ, Agency Life Quoter, and mobile app clients of ours. So just ignore that. But this is kind of where you set up, where you change out this logo. By default, I believe it looks like, no, this one even has the IXN logo on here, but you can see each one is branded, it has its own colors. By default, it looks more like this without a logo. So it'll just say your company name up here that you want. But with City Financial here, which is our fake agency that we used to demo, you've probably seen it before, I uploaded a logo. So, and you can also customize the colors. There's everything I've showed you so far is blue and black. And that's because the logos here in this, or the colors here in this logo are blue and black. Well, this is white because it's on the black background. So it's made a different version of the logo. But so you can customize it to you, Like I said, if I go over here to Insurance Designers of America, their colors are blue and white and black. And so they have this, it's very much customized to them. So that's the idea. Everything can be customized to your brand. So there's a couple of cool things here. You have your member section, so you can give, your member section is for the admin, so you can give people access to your dashboard, so to speak. So this is where the white labeling really comes into play, which is actually my next slide, but they kind of go together, so I'm going to talk about it right now. Essentially, within here, I've got this member section. This is where I manage my users. So if I go view all, I can see I've got a bunch of different users. Some have actually loaded pictures of themselves. But from here, I can make them a managing member. I can, when I add a member, I choose whether they're a member, which is like an agent, a sales rep, which would be like an office staff or an admin. And then you can upload an avatar for them, or they can upload their own. So what I've done here is I've added this Lassie Young demo. This is one of my users, and this is the avatar I added. This is their password and a little bit of contact information. And so once they're in here, you can assign them to different products. So for example, I assigned this user to this website quarter. You can see that Lassie Young demo. So he's assigned. So when he logs in to the dashboard, this is what he sees. He doesn't see, it looks like I'm assigned on a few other things like e-tickets on our website, but generally, actually, let's clean that up here. Maybe it's because of the mobile app. I don't know why I'm added to that. Let's see. Nope. So essentially, I don't think it does that by default. I think I'm added somewhere because of the demo. But generally, I would just see leads and website quarter. It also shows my website. This is just a link out to basically the home page of the website. So this is kind of this is like a test one that we play with. But I can see the leads that have come in, so I can go in here and I can view the leads. These are all the leads that came in through my website. I want to see more detail. And then quote info, not showing that here because I did select one. But if I go over to, if I go back to my cart, and then I can go into website quarter settings. You can see I've got, in July, I've got 29 quotes run. So I go in here to settings. This is where I really set up my quarter. So when you add a new website quarter, this is where I go to configure it all. So you can go in here to general settings. You can assign it to members. So if a member is assigned to you, so this particular one, I'm logged in as a member. So if someone's assigned to me, I can go in here and assign it to somebody. And then I can actually hide configuration. So if you're a BGA and you're white labeling this for an agent, and you don't actually want them to be able to see the configuration, you can hide it. So you can make it so they can edit it themselves or not, like select the carriers and all that. So you can kind of turn that on and off. Here's some lead form settings, like, are you doing a custom link to a URL, or are you doing default? Choose button, if you want to change that to apply, that's the button once you get to the quote results. Once the lead's submitted, what's the message that says there? Do you want to send the partial lead email or only a completed lead email? So if you only want to get notified when a full lead, or when someone goes all the way through the quoting process and then chooses a carrier, or if you want the initial lead as well. What I showed you guys earlier was a partial lead. So every time someone runs a quote and recalculates a quote, it's going to give you a new lead. So if you only want like really qualified leads, people who are saying I'm interested in this carrier, then so the partial lead, that's sending you this info up here. When you say the full lead, and they click, well, this one's like Cognito Forms integration. One I showed you earlier pops down. That's the full lead. So you can kind of turn that on and off. That was a setting we had in our old one as well. But it's, this is where you do that now. And then of course, emails, you can put in as many emails as you want. separated by commas. It tells you that here. Next item is selecting your product types. So you go in here and you just toggle them on and off. Really nice, really easy. Obviously, we quote term, guaranteed universal life, return of premium, which is term, simplified issue term, and some other unique products like page 75, page 100, things like that. Carriers, selecting your carriers has changed a bit. So this one obviously has them all turned on. I can turn them all off by selecting none, or select all, turn them all back on. But then you can go in and select your carrier. You can see it's much more visual than it used to be. It used to be just like a drop down or like a list of checkboxes. Now you just go in here and select the ones you want. Now let's say, for example, I had, let's say I use this as an example a lot, but John Hancock. Let's say you want John Hancock quoted, but there's specific products of theirs you want quoted. So you can go down here and you can click on this little hamburger icon, and it comes up with all their products. And then you can say, hey, I don't like the Vitality Gold product. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying if you want to turn it off, you can go in here and just turn them off. And there you go. And then you click save. Now when you quote, John Hancock will be quoted, but only their term and term with CER. So that's how you do that. That's how you select carriers here. I'm going to click select all instead. The lead form fields. So this has changed. This is probably the biggest change to this product other than the design. This is where these are all the lead forms. So you can customize this. You go in here and use first name. So you select the order. And then this is where that help content with that mobile pop up. This is where you select that, and then or you can type in any text you want here. And then you can make it required, you can make it visible or invisible, and visible and initial screen. So visible and initial screen is does it show up here in the top, or initially when you quote, or does it only show up when you click choose? This is obviously not if you're setting up a form edition with a different, like a form stack or Google Forms. This is if you're using our form editor. So we've simplified it quite a bit. We had out some customization here. Before you could build your own questions into this. You can no longer do that within here. If you want to do that, you got to do one of the form integrations. We realized that our form builder was lacking quite a bit, and it is a ton of work to maintain an actual form builder tool. And so instead of trying to build a new one in our new interface and all that, we just said, well, are there some people out there who are doing it really well? Yes, there are. And so we built integrations with those. All right. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm going to try to be quick here and finish up. We're getting close to the end, guys. Next item here is the quote actions. This is where you set up those integrations. So you can go in here and you can create a new action. And I was showing you this earlier. You can either do just an external link, and you can link to wherever you want, or you can link to one of those third-party builders. You can label it what you want and then select the URL. And like I said, you'll know the URL once you do the integration guide. You've gone through the integration guide to set up your form builder. So really, really customizable. And for those of you who are looking to integrate with like a CRM, I bet you one of these form builder tools will have the ability to import that information into the CRM that you're using. So that's another reason why we did that, is to make this, to make it so you can integrate with basically any CRM out there if you want to. Next option is theme options, 2 colors. We simplified this a ton. If you're familiar with our old one, why is this not? Okay, it's supposed to be popping up. Let's see if I refresh. If you're familiar with our old one, you could customize it down to every button, every little piece. Now it's just these 2 colors. So if I wanted to change this header bar to red, well, not here, in the quote engine. If I want to change it to like let's say we want to change it like a bright red. Click Save Changes. Website quoter saved successfully. I go up here to my website quoter. Now it's red. So really easy to customize. We simplified it to just make it easy for you guys because we found that most people didn't use all the options to change every button to something different. So last but not least here in the settings is your embed code. So you can actually go in here, and here's a functional quote engine. So if you want to test it out, it's not going to show as well on mobile and different things because this is just an iframe from in here. Once it's actually on your website, it'll have full function. But you can, this is where you copy and paste the code right into your site. So really nice and easy to use. So there you go. There's the settings of your website quoter. I showed you where you can get your leads now, which is here. You can set up members if you're doing a white label solution. What's really cool about that white label solution is if let's say you're a BJ or an AMO or even an agency who's got 10 agents that work for you, if you want to buy this for them, you can make it accessible through your dashboard. They still go to dashboard.ixm.tech, but they go to your dashboard. And with your brand on it, so they access their quote engine within your tools. So we have some agencies who have done this, who provide this as a tool, as a value add to their agents. You know, they pay the 25 or 20 bucks a month or 30, 25 or 22.50 a month, depending on the contract length. And then they get all these features for free with it, which we didn't have before. So it doesn't cost anything to white label the dashboard. And you know, they log in and they see only what's pertinent to them, not all your different tools. So they can't go in and change settings, for example. Another really cool feature, before we just showed how many quotes were run total. Now we've got the stats section. So this is where, so for example, if you only have a website quoter, it would just show your website quoter. Obviously today we've been running a ton of quotes. But all your products with IXM, it'll show them within this kind of graph. It's a really nice visualization. You can do different things. You can see all the quotes run for males. If you want to see males in the state of California, apply filter. You can see all the quotes that were run there. You really kind of customize it down to, you know, between different face amounts and, you know, what products were selected. You know, these ones won't really apply to your website quoter because some of the underwriting, you know, like table rates, but you can see the standard health categories. A website quoter doesn't do the substandard rates. So yeah, you can really kind of customize it. You can choose different lengths of time that you want to see it within, different ranges, really kind of see what's going on here. You can also go up here to see your latest leads. So this will take you right into the leads tool. You'll notice that there's like this little notifications up here, which is really nice for logging in. Now that corresponds with our mobile app, which I believe is my last slide here. Let's see, we talked about enhanced white label features. Yeah, lead integrated mobile apps. Now, if you're a brokerage and you built a custom mobile app with us, within that mobile app, there is a notifications section if you're on our latest version. And in the push notifications section, if one of your agents is using a website quoter with us, and that website quoter is within your dashboard, they get those leads on their mobile app. How cool is that? So I'm in sales. My background is in sales. I know that if a lead comes in, if I wait to contact that lead, every 5 minutes I wait, the likelihood of me closing or even getting on the phone with that lead drops significantly. So now they get a push notification, like a text message on their phone. Hey, you got a new lead. And guess where it's coming from? It's coming from your brand. So they've got this quote engine. So it's all integrated now. It all works together. They've got a quote engine that goes on their website where they get leads to their email, but they also get leads right to their app. They click on that. That takes them into your app. They can see that lead there, and they can click call, email them right from there. It's the first one was test. That's why it says call test. But so if you're a brokerage or BGA IMO and you're considering doing a mobile app, this alone is a really cool piece. You get a mobile app for your agency. You provide this quote engine, this website quoter, and we do have bulk pricing. So if you've got like 20 agents or 100 agents that you want to buy it for, we do discount for bulk pricing and things like that. Contact your sales rep here, or your account rep, whether it's me or Michael or someone else. Get in touch with us. We're happy to talk to you about that. But this is a really cool tool. This is a great way for your agents to generate their own leads and for you to add some value to them. There we go. That's all the new features. We've been doing a lot, guys. We've been working really hard. We're not done. We're not just going to put it on the shelf and say, here it is. If any of you know us, you know that we're constantly developing. We're constantly engineering. We've put a lot of resources towards engineering and growing our engineering team and creating better products. The last slide, other than the questions section, is just there's a couple things coming soon that we've been asked for on the input screen. They want more default options, which we had on our old one. So we're working on those. Those are coming soon. So hold tight if that's something you're waiting for. More, default face amounts, default health categories, things like that, default states, stuff like that. We're also working on a better modal for Skinny View. So what that means is some people want to put it in like a sidebar or something like that, the quote engine, but then they don't want the quote results to show up in that same sidebar because that's really small. So we're working on an option where you can make it, if it's like smaller than a certain size, what'll happen is, let's run the quote here real quick. Oh, no, I've got modal right here. Basically, the quote results will come down in a modal like this, rather than like on almost like another page like down here below. So that's, we call it, how it's going to be called. I just called it a Skinny View. But so those are a couple of things that we're working on right now. That's coming soon. If you have feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. Feel free to send us your feedback, stuff like that. So that's my presentation to you guys today. Thanks everybody for joining. Now I'd like to open it up for questions. If you go up in I think yours is green. There's a little chat icon that looks like this. You can chat in any questions if you have them. I haven't gotten any questions so far while we've been going through this, so either you guys are all asleep or I'm just really good at showing everything and explaining things and anticipating your questions. I think we're very excited about this. And someone just asked, when will the YouTube video be up so you guys can share it? Actually, Parker's the one who puts those together, and he's out of town. I think he'll be back on Friday. So hopefully, or Friday's tomorrow. Yeah, I think he'll be back either later today or tomorrow. So I imagine it should be up by Monday. Don't hold me to that, but Monday or early next week. We'll say that. It'll definitely be up by early next week. Next question here, Carolyn, is Mutual of Omaha one of the carriers? Absolutely. Yeah, Mutual of Omaha is one of our carriers. We've got Mutual of Omaha. We've got a really good connection with them, and we have them on our forms engine and our quote engine for standard rates and substandard rates. Any other questions, guys? Thanks, Carolyn, for those questions. Any other questions from anybody? Looks like we had a few people hop off already. And all right, well, if there's no other questions, hopefully none of you guys are typing them right now. I think we'll end it here. And thank you all for joining. We really appreciate everyone's support. Everyone who's kind of gotten behind us. We are still somewhat small company. We're about we've grown a lot over the last few years, but so those of you who supported us from the beginning and who are supporting us now, we really appreciate it. It's not an easy industry to break into for sure, and we've gotten a lot of support from our clients, from agents, agencies, and carriers, and so we appreciate that. So thank you all. Hope you all have a great weekend, and we will make sure you join if you haven't. We've got a couple other webinars coming up. Let me see here. Let me bring up the webinar list for you guys. Let's see here. On July 27th, we're doing a partner showcase. So this is a combined webinar with Applicant. Please join us there. On August 3rd, we're doing our mobile app new UI launch. So you'll definitely want to be on that one. It's really cool new user interface on our mobile app. And then we're going to be talking about API for our website quoter and agency life quoter, and then also API for our rates. So if you're a direct marketer and you're looking to build your own engine, we have a really nice, really easy to use API for all of our rates. So we'll be talking about our new UI, our new system there on August 10th. So that went out that had all the links, that had the invitation for this, has the link to this. You can sign up for any of these if you haven't already. Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a good one.